So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at lighting. So let's go ahead and import a few packages. Let's go to Assets, Import Package, and click on Light Cookies. Click Import. And let's go ahead and import the light flares as well. And click on Import. Alright, now the other thing we need to change is our ambient lighting. Let's go to Edit, Render Settings, and you want to choose a darker looking ambient light. So I chose a darker black. Now if I toggle my lighting on and off, you can see the difference in our lighting here. This is what our actual game looks like with our lighting, with the ambient light set to a darker color. So you want to make sure that you have that set to a darker color, and that's just so we can see our lighting a little bit better. Alright, so here's our first person controller. I'm going to go ahead and create a light now. Go to directional light and just move it towards the sky. Our directional light is like a sun, so you want to make sure that it's set up pretty high. Now you can rotate the light as well, and you can adjust the angle at which it's shining down. Alright, so that looks pretty good right there. I'm going to go ahead and toggle the lighting off now. So this is what it actually looks like in our game. Alright, so the settings for our light, you can see the type right here, it's set to directional. You can change it to a spot, a point, or an area type of light. The color right here, you can change color. And the intensity. If we adjust this up, you can see the effect of our lighting in our terrain here. So a low value with a directional light is best. Alright, so we're going to go with that. Now the cookie and the cookie size, we'll take a look at that once we actually use a spotlight. The shadow type, unfortunately right now, it requires Unity Pro. Unity should be coming out with a free version of the shadows soon. So for now, we don't have that, so we're going to go with no shadows. Then draw halo, let's go ahead and check that on, and we're going to go ahead and select a flare. So when you open that up, you should have a sun flare, a small flare, and a 50mm zoom flare. So click on sun. Now we hit play, and we look up towards the sky. You can see that this sun right here is part of the skybox. So we're trying to locate our sun, which is our light right here. And you can see the rays poking out of it with the halo effect on it. So that is the flare and the draw halo on it. Then we have render mode. You can set this to auto, important, or not important. This just determines the importance of our light. So if you have it set to important, you can use this for, say, a headlight, or not important for any type of lighting that's not really important. So it's set to auto. The culling mask determines what our light affects in our scene. Right now it's set to everything, but you can select different things that it's going to affect. Then we have light mapping. It's set to auto, but you can have real-time only and baked only. Baked only would mean that our lighting is baked into our scene here. Alright, so now let's go ahead and change our light. But I'm going to go first lower this down to where our player is at. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in on my player here and just move to view. Alright, so let's go ahead and change it to a spotlight now. And you can see we have our halo and our sun flare attached to it, so let's go ahead and take those off. Alright, so for our spotlight, we have a range and a spot angle. The range is this range right here, going up and down along the z-axis. Then we have our spot angle, which is this area right here, the radius of that circle. Let's increase the range and the spot angle. Let's go ahead and increase the intensity. Trying to move this light a little bit better. Alright, so let's increase the spot angle and increase the range once again. And you can see our spotlight taking effect now. Alright, so you can adjust the color if you want. The intensity is set up pretty high. And now we can add a cookie. So our light cookies are these little black and white textures that you see. So this one mimics a flashlight. So we double click it, you can see it looks like a flashlight now. Now what a light cookie is, it's essentially a screen for our light. This one's a regular flashlight. We have a hard. And we scroll down, we have a soft, and we have a square. This is kind of like a stadium lighting effect. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove that now. Alright, and all the other settings are pretty much the same as the other lights. Let's go ahead and change our light now. Let's go to directional. Actually, let's go with point. We already did directional. Now we point light and we zoom out is essentially a globe of light. Now there's not a whole lot you can do with this. You can adjust the range, but that's about it. So there's not much else in here. You can try to add a cookie, but you're going to see when you click on it, nothing happens. So we can add a halo and a flare here as well, but there's not really much else we can do with a globe light or a point light. Alright, so that is the basics of using lights in Unity. Go ahead and toggle that back off. So right now you should have a good understanding of how to use lights in your scene now.